on my phone currently. Soon. It's all right. I am fine. I got all the energy that I need to make this work. Library management system. Yesterday, what we have been through, what we have gone through, was too much, to be honest. I worked too hard, 5 hours, put 5 hours of my life onto this, and I didn't really move that forward, but it's all right. Let's see what I've done so far. So yesterday, my goals were these: need to work on the borrow history and rewrite the user get. All right, which I did actually. I have added added a you know router in borrow history. I've made a post borrow, and also I've made a patch which actually takes the CID, and whenever I hit this patch, whenever I hit this patch, hopefully it it we're not just like hitting the patch and borrow, but we are hitting the patch and borrow, and we are doing the update return on. So we have made a patch request patch function which updates the return on. As whenever someone hits the route, the return on would automatically become the current time. The return on would the particular time when the route is hit, right? So that is something that we have written, and we have another that we have called late fee fine. I mean, the function is called late fee fine. This is the post type request on the route slash fine. Yeah, things, right? All of this that I have been working on, right? And also, I've learned so many things yesterday. There were too many things that I've learned. I've added so many things. Like I've added the fine table, right? Fine table. It just seems like we should have a fine table. Excuse me, pardon. Should have attached it before. I guess you guys can hear me better now. Fine table is something that I had to, add because I wanted to check I wanted to have this info of the fines accumulated by the um, user. And also, one design choice that I took was the fine table was not just one to one, but it was one to many in relation with the um, borrow history table. So for a transaction, for a single transaction, let's say 101, we can have multiple transaction IDs in the finite table. That means that 101 can repeat as a row. It's not unique. Why did I do that? Because let's say I had a late fee fine from 101, and also the user tore up a page, so I had to add a fine on that too. So you get the thing, right? The reason I took that design choice, because we can have multiple types of fines. So I also made the model for it. So this is the model. We have transaction ID, we have fine ID, we have amount that has been, you know, added. That actually raises a question whether we can have a data type of maybe currency of sort in database. Let's check that. I have my ChatGPT opened on my laptop thing, so you guys can see. etc. in 3 minutes. I have talked to my mom, and we'll continue this. Sorry guys for that early interruption. Hi, I guess you can hear me now. I don't know why the Nvidia's one not working. Nvidia mic ain't working, make it work. Hello. Alright, that I'll do. I'll make a new resource of the audio. So where do I do it? Okay, now I get it. Source is audio input, NVIDIA mic. Okay, default. It is okay. Hello. I guess you can hear me now. Is there a reverb? Let me take this and hide it. Hi. ఒక్క నిమిషం ఓకే అంటే అదంతా స్ట్రీమ్లో పోతుంది ఇది కూడా వద్దు మనకి అసలు మ్యూట్లో పెట్టడానికి ఈజియర్ వే లేదు అసలు హాయ్ settings, I'll go to audio and I'll go to this. Can I? Okay, this. Okay, I guess you can hear me now. Ah, 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 ah. How is this? I have to build one night talk and I will video soon. Captures your PC sound. What does that mean? Does that mean if I do lay a song, it's gonna be out there? Oh shit, that is the reason. Okay, while streaming, okay. Mute the desktop audio. Click the speaker on. Oh ho. Mm, 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 mm.
Short stint that did not really fit well with my interests. So yeah, I just worked 3 months over there, and
Hello, whatever. Now that my mic is back, so sorry guys. Assume now that my mic is back, let's get back to work, bro. Brotlovskis. Ah, broskis. All right. So where was I? Let me have my phone. Or there is. So yesterday, what I was doing was adding the find.py, right? Mm, so yesterday I thought about it. Ki how do I add the find.py, right? Here is the thing that I've also. I was just trying to clarify my doubt. So what was my doubt? Gemini. Let's go to Gemini. Hey, in Postgres, are we allowed to use mm, INR as a data type? No, in Postgres there isn't a. Okay, okay, that makes sense. All right, you don't really have data types for currencies. All right. So yesterday, what was I dealing with? The fine. So the fine stable. I was thinking of like making some rows, so adding a fine to it. So one one way that I was gonna do it is to whenever I hit this route called slash late fines, uh, it should automatic cause the admin shouldn't be adding every fine that he in every violation that he sees. It should happen automatically, right? Because it is a tedious task first off. So the admin should be like to check whether all the fines the admin should actually not intervene with like adding a fine, at least the late fees fine. The other fines, such as like a book that is torn or the car page is damaged or something like that, that are that can be added just by checking, cause you need manual intervention there. So what I was trying to do was for every written on not none, that means for every written on being a date, that means a copy has been returned um, to the database. For every written on this, using the before column, we check whether we have a fine or no. We check whether we have a fine or not. So one of the ideas that actually now I have is to ask ChatGPT is hey, you know that library manage project. Yeah, from our previous chats, it actually knows all of that stuff. All right, all right, all right. That's good. That's great. So I need to give it, minimum amount of context. Like, so my question was, uh, can we write a route and hit another? This is actually a repeat question. I've actually asked it before. A route inside from that. Can we do that? Yes, but it's not best design, he says. So it's all right. So we won't do it because we want to be the best design practitioners. So let's just think about it a little bit more. So in our transaction table for a transaction 101, let's say 101, 102, 103 violate this. Here you have a return on. It has already been written. You have written there already. Um, and these are violate the, you know, these violate the expiry. Matlab, they should have been written before, but they weren't. So they have violated the policy of returning it on time. So that is just sad, man. I don't know why they did that. Now I have to add them in the find table, right? 101, 102, and 103 are to be added in the find table. So what I would do is 101, I would is the transaction ID, trans ID. That is one of those attributes in our find column. And transaction, this trans ID, we have also a find ID. Let's say it's one. Find ID, transaction ID, and what else we got? Amount. Amount is something that we can define after, right? Go through, after. I mean, it's just a function, so we'll figure out something for it. Amount, because it's usually a constant amount, right? You don't have variable amounts, at least for now, I hopefully. And also, we have another column called what? Models.py. In models.py, we have another column called reason and status. Here is this. There is a problem here. See, whenever you hit this route, or this route, whenever I hit this route, where is yeah, here it is. Whenever I hit this, let's see, fine. What should happen is it goes to the borrow ID table and checks every violation. There are so many, it would repeat the process again, right? Because um, shouldn't repeat the problem. There should be a differentiator which won't repeat the transaction IDs again in the find table. What I'm trying to say is, let's say 101 transaction ID, 102, 103 are some violations, and we have hit the slash post, and these got added. So far, so good. And after that, what if I hit it again? After that, what if I hit it again? 101, 102, and 103, they will definitely get added again. That is the problem. And we can't enforce the idea that 101 can't be repeated, because it's like I have made sure that it can't be like that. So maybe reason this reason thing is not such a redundant column. Just like, it's not like just writing a string with it. There has to be there has to be some kind of, you know, use for this. Because what I was thinking ki 101 late, so we'll check whether 101. Oi, oi, just a second, just a second. Thought is arising, sir. So what I was trying to do, this column, apna in our borrow ID, bro. Cause it's gonna be more and more complicated. Let's ask with ChatGPT. So I have this question. So what to say is, when adding rows, find table. So let we trans IDs from the borrow table. We added by a path function rather than if trans as a query as a parameter, right? That wouldn't make sense. Um, so hit the whenever I hit the route, we say your thoughts. Oh my god, because I don't really want the answer, right? Your thoughts. That is right. Thank you, thank you. I mean, ChatGPT does this a lot, where it actually, kind of invites a little confidence. I kind of like that. I'm kind of that guy who enjoys a little confidence given by someone else. I don't want the whole truth. Kind of enjoy white lies. Let's say your route does find all the overdue borrow records and a row to find for each one. Suppose your borrow history contains trans ID this and that. June 5 is, yeah, so you can insert this, which is probably the same. Okay, common solutions: one file per transaction, one fine. Mm, make no, I won't do that, cause that would. So another solution that I was thinking before looking down, because you can think that I just I'm saying for the sake of it. But another idea that I am thinking is to add another column in अपना uh, अपना borrow history. Because in borrow history, let's say we can have a thing called late fine being a boolean. Because if I turn this if I turn that switch on, you don't have to check those records, right? So I am thinking of that. Generate fine at return time. Generate fine at return time. When the book is returned, you set this. Immediately check if the return on is greater than before. Then you create fine. Then there is no separate generate fine. Okay. Well, this is usually okay. This is something that I've also actually thought of before, because it actually automatically, but I couldn't really think the code behind it. So what is this guy saying? When someone returns the fine, okay, we can do this. That's that is a thing, bro. Okay, I should have discussed it before asking ChatGPT, because now it makes me feel like I'm the dumb guy here. Chalo, it's all right. You gotta take the L. So where was I? Yeah, this, sir, this not just updates the return on. Mm, it actually adds the fine too. Adds fine. Can we do that? Yeah, we can. We can. So now that I've done that, mm, we will check right here if should I do it after committing the return on? Yeah. So I write the okay. I commit the return on after mm, changing changing the returned on after changing the returned on. We need to check if late fee fine is applicable. So let's just do that. Late fee fine. Let's see how am I gonna do late fee fine. So if before if returned on is greater than P4, if so so if trans transaction transaction dot returned on is greater than trans dot b4, if this is true, cause if that is true, what is trans, by the way? It is an object it is an object with the copy ID that. So how are we writing this update return on? So we are taking the copy in. So we'll first, to the admin says कि भाई तू तेरा copy दे, जो मेरे से लिया है वो दे. Then we'll check the CID. So I will input the CID in. Then I will if I input the CID in, it automatically changes the return on. It automatically changes the return on. Now with just that, I also want to see. So how will it do it? So it matches the copy ID. Uh, it's and it fetches the. It doesn't fetch the book here. It fetches the transaction ID that is like related to the book. So CID and the written down should be none. जो अभी तक दिया नहीं था, जो बुक अभी तक दिया नहीं था, और और जो कॉपी आईडी बोलेंगे हम. So we'll take in the copy ID and the written on, which is none, and we'll use it to make the query, and we'll make the object. If the object is none, we can say कि भाई ऐसा कुछ copy ही नहीं है तो क्या दे रहा है. So if there is an object and there will be a single object, right? Because an object, a single copy is associated with a single transaction, at least if it's written on as null. So now becomes this, and trans dot written on as now, db dot add is trans, db dot commit, and what we do now is check whether the written on is greater than the before. If it's that, what I want you to do is key. I want to you know do one thing right here. I wanna say fine fine. Let's say f is, I wanna add it in fine. So models dot fine, right? Models dot fine. Show and models dot fine. What would it take? It would take transaction ID, right? To take the trans ID, and also the amount that should be added, the amount that should be added. So also, now that we are doing this, why don't we just calculate an amount? For let's say for each day that this guy delays, for each day that this guy delays, first off, first off, first this depends on before. I have to update before, right? So that's in borrow history. I'll go there. I put the before as 45 seconds, and you can't. I don't think you can even see the cover page in 45 seconds. So I want to make it as something else, right? Like let's say uh, it's all right. Let's keep it as 45 seconds for now, and I'll take this as 1 unit. So for every uh, unit time that he for every, think of this as days, right? All right. Days is, they say, that's gonna make it so big, man. Let me go to ChatGPT. To also calculate the also calculate the amount. I need to know the time that he has. spent without giving the book back, right? Let's say now, can I subtract to time date time this, but let's see the difference. Okay. Wait, we can do something like this. Difference dot days. It's gonna keep it in days. Then I would wanna write import uh, date time. Uh, what was it? Date from date time import date time. Sorry, from date time import date. Right. Let's just copy paste this. Start date is this. The end minus this. I can't do that. Little different from what I am doing, right? So date time dot how. Yes, now. So yeah, which is same thing plus time delta days 4, and I'm gonna say diff is m minus n. I wanted to print diff. What is this gonna give me? Time delta is not defined. Okay, I guess I have to import that too. Delta diff. Did you mean diff? Yeah, I did mean that. Or it's all right. 4 days. And what is this? This is I guess it's in milliseconds. Okay, 4 days. And also, let's just say diff dot days. Would this work? No, there isn't. Int object is not callable. Has got no callable. So this should also give me an oh it doesn't. Okay, it's an attribute I guess. So this object has an attribute called days, which is gonna throw me just days. Alright, that makes sense. If I were to Hmm. So, so, what were I doing? Sorry, man. I don't know why I get zoned out. Hello. Let's go to borrow history. What I'm gonna do is the before thing, right? I wanna keep it in days. Let's say days is but if I keep it as 45 seconds, bro. Let's just not change anything. Seconds is and also if I were to print this in seconds, will that give me something? 0 seconds. Seconds. My God. Seconds. 4, 5. This has to give me 45, right? Okay, this is the difference. 45, um, 45 seconds of difference between these two. Now and our time delta this. So what I'm essentially doing is I have a B4, right? This is my B4, and and I'll have the now time, right? This, and I am checking if whether the now time is greater than B4. If I run it again, what will it give me? Now what will it give me? Right, alright, that makes sense. Okay, okay. Now, after a second, I've initiated this object. So, bro, why am I overthinking this? Hello, it's very simple. Mm, I'll get it in seconds. And minute, for every minute, for every minute, I'll charge, let's say, 2 rupees. 2 rupees I'll charge. Alright, that makes sense. Models, models are fine. Alright, before doing this, actually need to see before no before I think this should be done before even calculating the amount. So times dot written down is greater than before. If this is true, then I have to calculate the amount right here. Calc amount. How will I do it? Before so trans dot before mm, minus trans dot written down. I'm sorry. The written down is greater because like before is ज़्यादा, there is a certain time and he has passed that, right? Written down before. Hmm. Let's call this as the diff, right? This is the difference. and I want this difference in minutes. I want this difference in minutes. If I'm gonna get this difference in minutes, so diff min is, I'm sorry, diff underscore min is diff dot minutes menu. Is this the correct spelling? Am I doing it correctly? C minute pro. Why am I tripping? My noobs. Okay, there is no minutes. What? Is there a okay, we have days, we have seconds, and we have microseconds, but we don't really have, there is no td dot attribute, okay, but we can get that. Okay, total seconds, minutes is divided by 60. Of course, I mean, I can do simple math, so we'll do it. Seconds, we'll get the difference in seconds, and we'll divide it by 60. That is the minutes, difference in minutes. Now with that, that is how much. So for every minute, for amount, fans, and yeah, amount will make an object of it. Amount is what, diff underscore min multiplied by difference in minutes multiplied by, let's say I'm hard coding it, 2. That will be amount. So that will be the amount. Now add the find row. I'm gonna add that. F is models dot find, and this should take the fans ID. Fans ID should be taken. Fans ID is what, models dot find dot fans ID is fans dot fans ID. What's wrong with this? Ah, maybe. Okay, I am tripping on the. How did we add? Is this a post? Of course, it is a post. Okay, we don't really do that. We can just say trans ID. I'm so sorry, I keep forgetting this. Trans ID, we got, what is the other thing we have? We have amount. Amount should be, let's name this something else. A should be A. Amount should be A. And also we have, what do we have? We don't have to give fine ID. We have to maybe give a reason. Let me write a string. Late fee. And also status, not paid, man. Status is status. I don't really think we have to give status. That's it. FTP dot add, FTP dot commit refresh f. Now, can I also both objects? Can we return both of them? Let's just check. 1 second, I'll be right back.